Hey team, Paul here from StabiCraft. In September last year, we made a video informing the public that imitations of our boats are being dumped in markets around the world. Today, we have one with us. Our initial response video was to educate the public that these imitations exist. Since then, I've managed to buy one and we've gone through it with a fine-tooth comb. It has been an eye-opening experience. What we found wasn't just poor quality, but that fundamentally these boats are not safe. A surveyor recently came and assessed the boat on behalf of the New Zealand Marine Industry Association. From the welds to the wiring, they found an abundance of individual faults that poses safety risks on the water. However, the biggest safety concern was, as I expected, one you can't easily see: on-water performance. During the surveyor's visit, we had the imitation on the water alongside our own real deal StabiCraft 2050 Super Cab. It's amazing how close they can imitate us on the surface. But when you start putting the boat through standard testing, how differently they performed. The New Zealand Marine's independent surveyor states in his report that while running at speed and with 4 persons under shelter, the clone vessel ran substantially flatter with very little lift in the bow. Regardless of where the engine was trimmed, essentially we couldn't trim the nose up to control the boat's performance. This is incredibly dangerous. The ability to trim your bow up and remain under power is crucial to controlling the boat in a following sea. New Zealand Marine's independent surveyor also noted the issues with the boat's position while cornering. He states, during mid-speed turns, the clone vessel remained reasonably flat, with the result that the hull would heel outwards during the turn reasonably easily, rather than heel inwards towards the turn. Basically what this means is that because the imitation boat sits so flat while cornering, it could easily catch a wave of some type and tip outwards. This is opposed to industry standards where the hull is to lean into a corner, which significantly reduces the risk of tipping outwards. These are all widely known aspects to get right in boat design that our imitators either don't understand or do not care. New Zealand Marine's independent surveyor concludes the comparison sea trial between the 2050 Super Cab clone vessel and the StabiCraft 2050 Super Cab allowed an opinion to be made that the clone vessel would be difficult to operate safely in swell sea conditions above ½ metre, and it is considered likely this vessel may become dangerous in swells sea conditions above 1 metre, particularly when running with any swell or waves. This statement is the reason we are making this video. Any 6 metre vessel that is considered to become dangerous in anything more than a metre swell, in my opinion, does not deserve to be called a boat, let alone a StabiCraft copy. If you got caught in the rough offshore, you're not going to have any control over this thing, full stop. The fact that families will end up offshore in something like this scares the hell out of me. We do not want this to become the industry safety standard of boats on the water. Reading comments online, people refer to these as StabiCraft copies. Let me make this very clear. This is a long way off being a copy. It is an imitation, and there is a very big difference. A copy would be if they'd had our CAD files and drawings and built the boat to the same exacting measurements. An imitation is built from images and videos on our social media, perhaps website, perhaps boat shows. This imitation hull is widely different from anything we have produced. And how do you know? No 6 metre Stabi has ever been considered to become dangerous in 1 metre swell. Fortunately, in the long run, our imitator's business model is flawed. While the bare hulls do appear to be extremely cheap, by the time you ship the hull over to your country, pay import duties, custom charges, add a trailer, an outboard, get it all rigged up, this one here was around about 70k New Zealand dollars to get on the water. And it's still missing a lot of pieces. The base price of a real deal StabiCraft 2050 Super Cab in New Zealand can be less than 84,000. Depending on where you are freighting to, that means there's roughly only a 14k price difference between this thing and the real deal StabiCraft in New Zealand. Now it goes without saying, the imitations are without a doubt an inferior product. One that lacks 33 years of design and testing and basic industry knowledge, one that may become dangerous in swell conditions above 1 metre, and one that doesn't comply with, well, established marine standards across the globe. However, there will still be people out there who aren't safety conscious and will still think, I don't mind compromising a little on the quality if I can save 14 grand. This is their imitator target market. Now, obviously the fundamental risk is safety. However, the financial risk and cost do not add up when importing one of these things. First being there is no security on your investment. We are now working closely with governments across markets to get these stopped at borders because of the safety concerns. If you try to import one, there is no guarantee you'll be able to get it into your country. So you may also find it difficult to get the boat insured. The second big point is resale. Buying a boat is an absolute investment. If you imported this imitation right here and got it rigged up, you would have invested 70k. You will seriously struggle to get anywhere near that amount of money back on the second-hand market. That makes buying one of these things an expense, not an asset. For a good comparison, a 2005 StabiCraft 609 hardtop that's been battling the seas for 15 odd years is still worth around 45 to 60k in New Zealand. While it is slowly depreciating, the asset has held much of its value. And you often hear of owners that have sold StabiCrafts for more than what they initially paid. The last financial risk is one of the biggest. There is no real warranty or support from the imitators. So when things start falling apart, and they will, you're on your own. If you actually use this boat offshore, you could easily be forced to spend your initial savings repairing the boat at your own expense. Now, I'm not talking about a bent rod holder, I'm talking about major design flaws and poor workmanship that will result in substantial costs down the track. I'll give you a little example here. Look at the windscreen. Now, the fitting of the screen is rough as hell, but if you look at this, they have a screw on each side of the screen. This was likely to hold it in place while installing. But if the weight of the screen comes crashing down in rough seas and makes contact with this screw, it is likely to crack or shatter. The cost of repairing the screen would be on you. That is not an isolated issue. There are hidden gems like this all throughout the boat. I'm not going to point them all out because our imitators are also watching this video. Hi. And I don't want to give them a masterclass on how to build proper boats. I've been a boat manufacturer for the last 33 years. If I sent out a boat from our factory with this design and execution, it would be back at the dealership within 24 hours. When you buy through a local agent or manufacturer who has registered business in your country, you are protected by local consumer law. When you buy one of these hulls, you are well and truly on your own. And there is a cost there. I hope once enough people go through the pain of buying these imitations, the true cost will be exposed. This has already taken place with people popping up on social media, showing issues they have had with their imitation boats. We've also had private messages from imitation boat owners along these same lines. The overwhelming theme is regret. They get in the awkward position of either having to spend significant money re-engineering the boat, either themselves or selling the boat for next to nothing. I see a few comments online saying, over time the imitators will improve. For the sake of everyone's safety, that would be great. However, from the research we've conducted, they are not improving, and they don't really have any reason to. They are not trying to compete. Their strategy is to suppress bad reputation and continue to sell on surface level imitation. Fundamentally, these boats are not safe. We haven't seen the end of them yet, and it will take time for all of these stories to come out. However, we are committed to using the experience to elevate and showcase our core message. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The StabiCraft brand has been built by allowing our owners to adventure with confidence. Our imitators still stand for the exact opposite.